Hey, this is Jordan from Jersey, and this is what I thought of the comics I read the week of March 17th, 2010. So let's start things off with some Deadpool. First off, we got Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, issue number 9, which I'm continuing to enjoy as Deadpool hangs out in the zombie-verse. Pretty much as long as he stays there, I think I'm going to really enjoy this book. Otherwise, I was kind of on it, but it's turning out pretty well. I'd say the biggest downside so far is that the zombie characters he's running in seem to be all Z-listers. I don't recognize any of them. And I've got a pretty extensive Marvel collection, so that's kind of weird. Also, starring Deadpool, we have Prelude to Deadpool Corps, issue number 3 of 5. I actually like this better than the first two, I think. It was done kind of in the style of the old Marvel What Ifs, including Watu the Watcher, and that was pretty fun. I thought the art was a good choice for the book. It's not something I would normally love, but it worked well for the subject matter. And I also liked the bit of commentary on the name Wolverine, because it is kind of arbitrary if you think about it. Seriously, though, every time I see Wolverine from now on, I'm going to think Badger. Next up, we have Choker, issue 206 from Templesmith and McCool. Continues to be a book that I go, oh, that was interesting. I don't know that I love it or even like it so much, but I'm hanging in for now. The art's definitely good. You know, it's Templesmith. What do you expect? And the story is so weird that it's fun. Like I said, though, I don't know if I love it, but at least it's got pretty good dialogue for now. So that's a good reason to pick it up. Next up, we have Siege, issue 3 of 4. I'm continuing to enjoy the series. It's exactly the big, dumb action event I want in March. Not exactly a summer event, but you know what I mean. I'm going to show a piece of art here. You might consider it spoilery, so this is your warning. Just from the end of the book, something I thought looked really cool. 3, 2, 1, and the Void. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever actually seen the Void fully realized before, but that's cool. In the next book, we're also going to show you the Void. They look different. I don't understand why. They look really different. But anyway, back to this book. I enjoyed it. Big dumb action. It was fun. Iron Man's back. I don't exactly understand how his old armor can sabotage brand new armor. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. And Norman Osborn is creepy, but you knew that already. So next up, we have Dark Avengers, issue 15. And when I said that the Void looked different between two different comics, this is what I meant. It's still the same color scheme, but he kind of looks like Venom or Carnage, whereas the other guy looks very bug-like. I prefer Coipel's version in Siege. Either way, this issue, once again, it's a prequel. I have a feeling the final issue, which is issue 16, coming up next month, is also going to be, filling in the blanks from things before. I'm enjoying it, but it's one of those things where if you haven't been reading the whole series, there's no reason to pick this up because it's filling in blanks from books you haven't read. So, and it also has nothing to do with Siege. This all happens before Siege. So, it's not a necessary tie-in, but I enjoyed it. Next, we have Joe the Barbarian, issue 3 of 8. The art continues to be good. The overall concept continues to be very simple, but this issue, I think even more than the last two, really complicates matters in the terms of what he's going through, Joe as a character I'm talking about. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those books that just flat out reads better in trade. As of now, you're dropping someone, me, the reader, or you, the reader, whoever's reading it, into a brand new world and not holding hands very much. I understand that. It has its place. I think it'll work just well once the whole story is laid out in, the trade. But as for now, just by the point where I think I'm getting an issue, I think I understand exactly what's going on. Issue's done, and I gotta wait for the next one. And by that time, I'm going to forget most of what I'd figured out. So check it out, definitely, but probably in trade is going to be where you're going to get the most complete experience. But that's just a guess. But I enjoyed it. Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 24, asks the question, what lies in the cocoon? The answer is Thanos. Not really a spoiler, considering he's been all over the solicits. The next major story arc is called the Thanos Imperative. I think that's a whole Realm of Kings thing, not just limited to Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, he's back. I think he died during Annihilation or Conquest, one of the two. Very fuzzy on my limited memory of those two series, although I remember they were good. I don't know a whole lot about Thanos. He was an interesting character in those miniseries. It's not so big of a deal for me as it may be for someone who's read the character for years, though. He's back. Yay. I'm very confident that Abnett Lanning will do wonderful things with the character and make me care about it within 1 or 2 issues. As for now, I don't particularly care. This is another issue with Wes Craig art. I like it. A lot of people don't. However, in a lot of the reviews I've been reading, it seems that people are starting to warm to his style of art, or he's tempered it to a point where people really like it, or can stand it. Give it a chance. I think it's fun. It's, it's cartoony, sure, but it works. Also, this panel reminds me, I like what they did with Groot being a king, how they grabbed that little tidbit that Maximus handed out a few months ago now, I guess, at this point, and it really turned it into something good for the story. So check it out. This is a good book, as always. And finally, we have what was most certainly my favorite book, hands down, of the week, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 625. Now, while this issue does pick up on story elements from the last issue and the issues before that, it is more a sequel to issue 617, came out, I guess, 2 or 3 months ago now. That was the other Rhino issue, which was one of the best stories I've read recently. It turned the Rhino a character. I don't care about the Rhino. He's dumb. He's a guy in a rhino suit. They turned him into something awesome. They turned him into a character with a heart that you cared about, or that I certainly cared about, and they sent him on his way, and I was like, that is a great story. Now, a couple weeks ago, they put out a Flash Thompson story, and it undercut the last Flash Thompson story for me. So I knew this was a Rhino tale. Pun not intended. I was not looking forward to it because I was worried that they would undercut the last Rhino story in the same way that they, in my opinion, undercut the last Flash Thompson story. I'm happy, I'm thrilled to say now, I was completely wrong. And I shouldn't have worried. Joe Kelly really did not drop the ball. He picked up the ball and he hoisted it and he brought it another, 100 yards over the finish line, because this was a great story. Picked up exactly where we left off with the Rhino and brought it to, I don't want to say a logical conclusion, although it certainly does follow the rules of logic. It didn't follow it to the conclusion I would have expected, but it followed it to an awesome conclusion. You really should pick up issue 617 and 625. You don't need to be reading Spider-Man, really. There's a couple tie-ins to overarching arcs, but it's not that important. Pick up 617, 625 for an awesome mini arc about the Rhino, a character who you don't have to care about going in, because you will by the time this is over. And it is, I used the word heartbreaking when I was talking to a couple other people, and I wasn't sure if that was the right word, but the more I think about it, it really is. It's a heartbreaking story about the Rhino, and you owe it to yourself to pick it up and read it. That is all I have for this week. My voice is starting to go anyway, and I think the Town PM is kicking in. Whoa. So, have a good night, have a good week, and pick up 617 and 625. Really good books. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe to my videos. I'd appreciate it. Tell your friends. Email it out. Start a rumor about something. I don't know. Your choice.